Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Breeze. Breezeway Productions The Breeze, where we bring you the latest in independent films and film festival news. And we're excited to showcase a project that will be in this year's Cinequest Film Festival, the 2025 edition. The film is called Canoe Dig It, and we have filmmaker, director, writer Sam Dunning here today to talk about it. How you doing, Sam?
Howdy, good. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. I'm stoked to talk about this. It seems very interesting. So let our audiences know a little bit about Canoe Dig It.
Canoe Dig It is a mockumentary comedy that is about an actual real sport called freestyle canoeing.
Mhm.
And freestyle canoeing is best described as canoe dancing. It's very similar to sort of interpretive freestyle, like figure skating, but to music.
Hmm.
And essentially, what people do is they choose a song and they paddle their canoe in twists and turns and dips in time to the music. And so it's sort of a performance art meets technique and prowess with how well you can control your craft. And so someone sent me a good friend of mine sent me a video, a viral video of somebody doing freestyle canoeing, and I a week later had started writing the script because I was like, this is just too good not to have something in existence about it.
Wow. So how long has the sport been around? And like, tell me about the characters that are involved in canoeing, freestyle canoeing.
Well, the sport as it's kind of hard to put a finger on, but it kind of got its origins with sort of like what they called, and I'm not kidding, fancy paddling, which was, I believe, started like kind of taking hold around the early 1920s and stuff at like
Oh.
resorts and things where people would show off their abilities with a canoe. And then I think that it really had its heyday in the mid to late 80s and early 90s, as I recall. And now it's extremely small and is kind of dissipated, and there's only a very small handful of people that still do it.
I know.
But the film follows an ensemble of different characters. I play one of them as well. And so you've got my character is sort of the golden boy of the competition. He's the best of the best. Everybody wants to beat him, and he's kind of a total ass. And then you have like a backwoods sort of natural who comes into play, who just does it for the pure art of it.
Mhm.
There's a pair of summer camp counselors that always perform as a duo and do, ta sets in tandem. There's a hard rocking bartender that also comes in and likes to kind of shake the boat, as it were. And then you have I'm trying to think who else. There's a first timer who's kind of past his prime, but has always wanted to compete and just finally got in later in life to do his first competition. So it's all that and more.
So with the canoeing activity itself, how did you like rehearse any of those scenes if you had to do some live water action, like coordinating it with your team, with the cameras and actors, and like, it's kind of I'm not gonna say it's unsafe, but it's a very uh challenging terrain to work with, yeah?
Yeah, I mean it's one of the, I forget that what oh yeah, the three things they tell you never to do in a movie is shoot it on water, have kids in the film or have animals in the film.
Right? Those top
And
three. Yeah.
we dodged mostly the latter two. I think we had a couple like people brought their pets, but nothing that important, thankfully. But
For
we
sure.
were on the water, which of course like we got really lucky, but we did have a few people fall in. Uh,
Okay.
thankfully it was waist deep water, so you could just stand up and you were fine.
Okay.
The thing is, with freestyle canoeing, it looks when you watch it, and it's kind of you kind of have to watch it to really know what I'm even talking about, because me
Mhm.
describing it will not do it any justice.
Okay.
But it seems when you watch it, like how hard could this be? And then you get somebody into one of the canoes, and you're like, oh, this is extremely hard, even though it looks very simple. But that's actually part of the allure of it, is they make it look so simple.
Right.
So me and the rest of the crew, no one could even remotely do any of this kind of stuff. But
Hmm.
we were lucky enough to actually get Mark Ornstein and his wife Molly Gurian, and Mark Ornstein was actually the guy in the viral video that I was sent that inspired this whole journey.
Oh,
And he's a big kind of figurehead of the freestyling world, as is his wife. And they body doubled for all the actors.
oh,
And then we just
nice.
used movie magic to make it look like these two people were actually six.
So you made the professionals go ahead and do that type of work and then just made it seamlessly fit into the storyline as any of the characters.
I mean, we got everybody in a canoe at some point,
Yeah,
but but when anytime you see anybody doing what looks to be a pretty fancy move, that's one of our two body doubles.
right on. And I also have to ask about your title. When I first saw it, Canoe Dig It. Are you a big fan of the Warriors? Or is that just something that you're like, it would be cool to name it this for your particular liking?
I'm just a really big fan of an egregious pun. And this movie kind of was born out of me seeing just how many really lame dad jokes I could squeeze into a film. And I like the Warriors just fine, but I was like, well, how can I incorporate the Warriors into this and this terrible pun? And so that's where that came from.
I love it. That was the first thing that I thought of when I saw the title, and I laughed because I also really enjoyed that film. The subject matter is super interesting, and you will be playing at Cinequest this year. Do you know when and where you will be screening at the festival?
Yes, we will be screening on Saturday the 15th, and that'll be at 2:30 in the afternoon on at the Hammer Theater Center.
Right
And
on.
screening a second time the following Friday. I'm not sure what date that is off the top of my head, but that'll be at
All
about
good.
12:30, I believe. And that's at Three Below, which I think is attached to the Hammer. I can't remember off the top of my head, but the premiere is Saturday at 2:30.
Right on. Okay, so we will put links in that below in the video description for those that are interested to check it out. That will be attending Cinequest this year. And where can people go to find out more about it for social, website, and things like that?
We do have a Facebook. It's not used nearly as much as our other socials, just because we only have so much bandwidth, and
Sure.
you kind of have to focus on where you think you're actually gonna meet some attention and
I
like.
can dig it. All
Yeah,
right.
I figured you could. Pun intended. Um, so we do have a Facebook. I think it's quite literally like Canoe Dig It Film or something If you search Canoe Dig It, you'll find it. Our Instagram is Canoe Dig It Film. And so most of our announcements and things go through that. We also just launched a letterboxed
Nice.
for the film. So we just had a few private screenings, like friends, family, cast, crew,
Yeah.
which were wonderful. But we wanted to start giving people the ability to start like putting reviews and stars and stuff. And just because, as much as people think it does not matter, it actually matters so much to
Sure
independent film.
does.
Yeah, like I think about like I don't know if you saw Hundreds of Beavers.
I
Um,
know of it. I have not seen it yet, though.
I highly recommend. It's wonderful. I've had a few friends worked on that, and I crossed paths with those guys on the festival circuit quite a bit the last couple of years. And something they told me was just like make sure to get everyone to rate your movie on Letterboxd because it
Hmm.
is so important just to get that ball rolling so that when you actually end up getting distribution or even looking into it or looking into any kind of larger attention to get it out into the world, a lot of times they're going to go over there and see what people are saying. And
Letterbox over IMDb.
yeah, because I mean IMDb helps too. Don't get me wrong.
Sure, sure.
They're both very important, but Letterboxd just because I think it's a little bit more personable. It's a little bit more. I hate to say this, but memeified. Like there's a lot more like kind of internet culture that's going on there, and
Yeah.
IMDb is still useful, but Letterboxd is kind of the hot option right now.
That is fascinating. You're the first filmmaker that has showcased that when it comes to, promoting socials and where to go to find it. I personally am a Letterboxd user myself. I've rated some films and I want to continue to do more. Every now and then I sign on to it and do spurts because
Yeah.
you could see movies from like all throughout history, and then if you just see it again and you're like, "Oh, I want to go and write a review about this or put on the reviews," you can. So Letterboxd is like booming, and shout out to them because I'm a fan myself. So looking it up on Letterboxd and dropping a review after the screening drops, it would be awesome.
It
That's
it's
definitely cool.
yeah, and it's just so important for especially for indie film because you can go on there and rate whatever Marvel movie you want. That's really not going to have any effect on anything apart from, like cataloging what you're watching. But when it comes to indie film, like we're talking even shorts, like giving them, your
Hmm.
time of day and like if they've got something up there, that is so invaluable to those filmmakers. So I only signed up for Letterboxd recently just because we had to do this, and I have been going out of my way to go back and find my friends' films and go, yes, this is amazing, and just like make sure that they all get their just rewards because it just I know how powerful that is, like every single one of them.
That's great. That's awesome to hear. And you heard it here that this is now a trending thing to do when it comes to independent films. I was aware of it, but I didn't know that it's really becoming to reverberate amongst the community and can affect things such as distribution and reviews, interviews, and publicity and things like that. So that is a gem of knowledge there, and I appreciate you putting that forward
Of course.
to illuminate me, and I hope all the viewers were able to also understand that that's a big thing, and that's what's happening. But in conclusion, we hope you're able to check out Canoe Dig It, which is going to be at the 2025 Cinequest Film Festival, and we have with us today writer director Samuel Dunning here to talk about it. So make sure to sign up to Letterboxd, and if you go and check it out, give them some love, and we hope you're able to check out Canoe Dig It at Cinequest this year.
Thank you so much.